Oh, say something, it says. Let's say something. Hello and welcome. I don't know if I spelled that right. Right. Are we live? I know. Yes, we are. We're live. That's excellent. Let me see if I can get this window out of the way. Up there somewhere, out of the way. Can't see chat on there, but I can see chat on here. That's fantastic. And it's time stamped. Yes. So we're all set. Actually make that do something better, couldn't we? We could do that. But we better turn that. Yeah, we'll turn that volume off. Good idea. Rightio. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Amberskies. My name's Blades. Or just call me Fraser Sharp. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, debugging. We left the last stream with something to debug, and I've got that on stream here in front of you. It's moved. Why is it moved? Alright, here we go. So this, which file are we in? Model3D underscore save.h. It's on GitHub if you want to download it. It's Amberskies, Amberskies underscore QT. And it's the master branch of the model code converter that I'm looking at now. There's a few other programs in there, like a static library, which you probably want to have a look at. This piece of code is bugged and doesn't run. If I try and run it, it will come down here and say error, file did not save. Guaranteed, 100%, because I know what the bug is already. Now, during the stream, we came across this bug and there was nothing I could do about it because I was way too tired, had no idea what I'd done because I don't remember things. So I thought, stuff it. We'll leave it to today and we can talk about debugging. Now, the first rule of debugging is don't try and do it when you're tired. Wasting your time. If you can't see what's wrong immediately, don't keep at it. After 5 minutes, stop. Rule number 1, if you can't find the answer within 5 minutes, stop. What I did was, after the stream, is take another look at the code. I changed this from a header file into a class. I added an object, a queue object, to give it a vtable to make sure that everything was correct and it had as much information as possible to work, and it didn't. And that proved to me that the error was in the code. And I've forgotten one basic thing. The error is not in the code. Sometimes it isn't. That's the answer on screen in front of you. Can you tell the difference? The error was in the file path. All I've done, that's what you've got. Okay, let's run it. That's what's on GitHub. Error, file did not save. That's exactly what you're going to get. All right. Take that slash out, because it shouldn't have been there in the first place. Run. File saved to resources, Amber objects, head to A and B. It works. So my error was not in the code, which I thought it was. I'm stupid. So this code that I've got here is in a CPP file and is now a class. As you can see, I turned it into a class. I included object. I added QObject here. We've got array dump, which I've filled in. Save converted data, which I've now filled in. So we will be placing this on a GitHub at 10 seconds. So the array dump is simple. It's a while loop that counts and sticks a line in, line of 3 in this case, or tuple size, 3 for vertices, 2 for texture coordinates. So depending on how, it'll put that many across. The data itself is here, and I've got that wrong, so I'll do that in a second before I save it. So all we do is array dump out normals, array dump out texture coordinates 2, you see, instead of 3. Array dump out colours, there's an if else there, we only do one or the other. And data end. Positions is there. Oh, very simple stuff. What have I forgotten here? I've forgotten that. Now Qt will do all of the modifications necessary for a text file to work. So we don't need to bother whether Windows, what the line ending is for Windows or Linux. It'll do whatever it is on the correct machine. So that bit's good. So let's debug this part and put in the correct endings, because I didn't even put endings in. Clever me. And these all have the correct endings in because I remembered to put it in there, buffer backslash n there. That's what that bit's doing. That's the end of a line. All the end of the lines are there. Let's save it. Let's make sure it works. There it goes. File saved to blah blah blah, and the model is shown on screen. Thank you. And it's saved as a .amb file. As we will explore in a second, I'll just give you the code. Now, how would have I found that working code to convert and save an OBJ model? That's as much as I'm going to be doing on this program anyway. Come on, you can do it. Come on, you can do it. 1 of 11, go on. Done. Right, successfully done. You've got the code. So if you go back to the GitHub, make sure you get the code. Get on screen. Code, model converter. There you go. Orking code. Alright, so now we have a save H and a save CPP. And in the save CPP, you'll see that I've got a QObject as parent. And data is open, yeah, blah blah blah, and you've got all back, yeah, that's lovely. Okay, so what does this produce? Oh, I'm talking about, yeah, let's just make sure I've got what it produces. Solution. Not refreshed. Thank you. This is the produced file. Has a ton of mistakes in it, which I'm not bothered about. So it goes down. That should be hash array start. Hash array end. Hash array start end. Hash array start. As you can see, there's only 2. And then the last 2 are garbage. We have garbage output, so I've gone too far. Interesting. Array end, data end, and that should be hash data end. Alright. So that works alright. A couple of hashes missing. Ah, that's just a \n that's missing there. That's a hash. And I think we've got 1 too many on here. Shouldn't have. We have. Hash array end. And hash array start. So let's just run that again. I think I was sending out too much data. Okay. So there should have been an error, overflow error, but we don't get those kind of things. Okay, let's now have a look at you. And yeah, that's cleaned up. Hash data end, damn it. Thank you. Hash data end, thank you. That's not overflowing. That's not overflowing. And everything is marked. What I think I might do is add spaces. Here. At array start. I'm not got any blank spaces in, if you've noticed. I haven't used any blank spaces at all. Just pure data throw out. So we could make it more readable, but I don't see why we should. Let's see if there's a data start here. First one. That's a 3. That's a 3. Yeah, spaces. That's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so 10. All the way down to here, 45. So there are 35 plus 1, 36. Perfect. Couldn't have done that better. Wow. Right, so the data seems to be going out properly. That's all I'm going to say there. Alright, so cleaned up the saved data. Commit. Sync. Final code, right. So, how could have what kind of checks would I have done which you wouldn't have seen on screen? So, the first check I did is at the beginning of here. What I do is I put a little dot here, a breakpoint, and I ask it to go to that breakpoint. And once I'm at that breakpoint, I am more interested in what's going on down here than anything else. So I move this up like that. And what I'm looking at is all of this stuff here to see what changes. Okay, we've got an object now, you see. And I'm looking to see what is this, what are these things, and do I need to know about them? These are events, timers, child's events. Don't need to know about that one. That's your V table. The D pointer is just null because we didn't set it to anything. So there is no parent. It is, well, actually no, when it gets run it's got a parent. The parent is main. So that's okay. Calling it as an object is straightforward. That's already in main, obviously. We do have the colours, text codes, colours, yeah. There's nothing in these, or shouldn't be. There's 72. That's right, yeah. 1 colours. Yeah. Has it got a texture on? Ah, we haven't done the box, have we? Alright, I'll do that in a minute. I'll probably fail miserably. So, yeah, you just follow through by stepping here. What happens at the bottom here. And I didn't spot it as I came through. That file, that line was wrong. There's no way you can really see it. Because this information didn't come up. HEAD. Ed. Oh, that's just a raw view, I'm not interested in that. Alright. 2 bytes long, yeah, that's right. Data queue file, that's all there. Didn't really help me much. There's the device. I did follow it all through. I did read up the manual to find out that I was doing it right. All I proved really whilst trying to debug using step through is that I coded it correctly. That was all I found, which was pretty damn useless to me because the error wasn't in the code. And it was that I realised when I woke up this morning, sat down within 5 minutes, spotted that the error wasn't in the code. It's here, it was here. So just didn't match up here. And it was obvious to me what was wrong. So that was it. That's how you debug. You debug looking for code errors. And when it isn't a code error, you have to look at where are your files going? What's happening with the data? Is the data correct? And it's usually the data that's wrong. We want to do box RGB, don't we? Main's pretty simple. The only alteration in main, right down at the bottom here, I created a new C++ object called SaveModel and said SaveModel, save converted datas, and then gave all the details through. That's all I did. And at the top, we'll try box RGB. Now you know why I have this hash define here. And run it. Saved it to boxrgb.amber. And what else do we have? We've got head, we've got box, and we had body, didn't we? Make sure that one's done as well. So that should give us the 3 files, the 3 test files that I wanted. There's the body with its texture on, its gold texture. It's a rubbish texture and just can't be bothered changing it, that's all. So that all works. Did it all work? And there's the question. Refresh, please. So we now have a body, box, as texture 0, correct. Texture file name equals a 0, correct. Fantastic. So that's okay, has normals, 1, true. Remember 0 is false, 1 is true. The head, there you go, true. Then it gives a texture file name. 36 indices, yeah, you can check them. Body, masses of data, 2,904 indices. Ooh, that's a lot of data. Let's have a look at that. No point in doing that, you dope. $203 kilobytes of data for a low. That's not a lot. That's going to fit on your graphics card very nicely, because whatever size this file is the same size that goes onto your graphics card. Now that's an interesting thought. There's 203 kilobytes of data to go onto your graphics card. The other two are just 2 kilobytes. So if you've got a graphics card that's got 2 gigabytes, 2 gig of memory, like the one installed in this, I think this actually has 4, I'm not sure. Probably got more than 2. You can see that we can fit an awful lot of models in there. Now, what you have to remember is that's just the model storage area. You've also got to allow memory for calculations. You've also got to allow memory for instancing. So you can have many bodies on the screen at once, or many heads on the screen at once, or many boxes on the screen at once. So what's on the screen currently isn't going to push the memory up a lot. Instancing doesn't push that memory up a lot, but you still have to think about it. It'll push the memory up in CPU area, but not necessarily in GPU area instancing. Instancing can be done in such a way where the CPU memory is used rather than the GPU memory is used, and that's why we use that system. We instance each object. But what we want is our base objects on the GPU, so we can instance them. And then for each instance we do a batch render to make it very fast, so that the GPU is only dealing either with that, or that at any one time, and it's not having to jump between the 3 and waste memory. That's the whole point of instancing and batch rendering, is to stop your GPU wasting memory, jumping around and bringing these in and out of its internal GPU memory slots. It'll load one of these into its GPU memory slots, and then it'll do all the work for all the instances on that one model that's in view on the screen at any one time, and we're going to tell it how to do that. That's one of the things we're going to be doing in the future. How do you debug this? The simple answer is you write the reverse of. We now have to debug our .amb files. So we now have to write the reverse, which is now here. We now have to write the reverse of array dump, which is array load. Save converted data will be load converted data, and it just does the reverse of exactly this. And again, we won't know file sizes, so we can't use arrays. But that's not correct because we are going to use arrays. C++, how can you put it? Once we know line 86, once we have read num indices, we know how much data we're going to be reading. Num indices is the key to the rest of the data. Used in conjunction with has textures and has normals, we could even tell you how big the file is. That's why I put those at the top. And that's why I saved them out. The texture file name is obvious. We do need the texture file name, or otherwise we'll never be able to find the texture for it. And that's the only reason why there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 items of information we need to be able to read the entire file. Can you remember how many items of information we needed initially? It's in main. We needed an awful lot. We needed hash empty. Oh, I'm going to use hash again. We needed mtv, vt, vn, us, material or non, f, the faces, which was complex data structure, the data structure saving all the indexes out. We then had all of this data that we'd read in, so I should show the size. We then had the MTL file as an extra, and we needed to do a few pieces in here as well, which were the map, KD, the name of the texture file, NE, material file names, KD, color, D, transparency. We don't need any of that anymore. We still haven't got D, have we? Oh, forgotten about transparency. Ooh, that's probably the first thing I'm going to alter. We needed an awful lot of data read in, and then we needed to convert it. Here we did the conversions to OpenGL, and only then, after converting it to OpenGL and sorting out all these bits and pieces and deleting our original data, the pre-conversion data, we now have our converted data. Our pre-conversion data was deleted, and our converted data goes on here to set the shaders and to finally, blah-de-blah-de-blah, after checking all the data, we get a model. 356 lines in, we get the model. How many lines in do you think it's going to be before we get the model? Using our converted data. Because that is the next thing we need to write. We need to write the loader. We have the converter. We can save any OBJ file out. We can convert it, go into Blender, save it out as a .obj, and then just run this program on it, and it will convert it. Blam, done. So now we need our Amber objects, our GSL objects. Those are the only two that we are using at the moment, and we need to transport those over into a new file to start work on Tuesday. So I think we can set that up today, can't we? Are we going to set it up in here? Or would you like me to set it up in Qt Creator? Any answers? Qt Creator? Visual Studio? Which one would you like? You get a choice with me. Here's Qt Creator. Let's have a look at that. I actually used this morning to do the debugging. I didn't use Visual Studio to debug. I did find a bug. So remember that I said last time that, oh yeah, we've got these that weren't being used in here. Where was it? It was in window.h. We had a couple of includes at the bottom here that we weren't using in this file. And they were inline, static inline stuff, and I said we should never include them in a header file. Well, Qt Creator picked up on it, whereas Visual Studio didn't. So yeah, I did cut and paste them into the correct place. They should have been at the top of the CPP file. If you don't put them at the top of the CPP file, it is wrong and shouldn't work. Visual Studio made it work. Qt Creator said, no, don't do that. Don't be stupid. So all I did was load up these two and have a look through, and it was obvious. It gave me... I'll show you. I'll show you what it does. Visual Studio does nothing. So if I cut those out of there, Window 3D .h, and I put them back where they were, there, I clear out the memory, clean project. And we try and build. There you go. Qt Creator will do that. Okay, we'll do the same over here. Just make sure it's been changed. There you go, it's been changed because it's the same files. Alright. Remove all of this lot. Project. Clean. Nope. Build, here we go. Clean model converter. We clean it. This is, again, is debugging. Okay, now we just want to build it. In debug mode, please. Okay. Exactly the same code. Where are the errors? Well, they're not errors, they're warnings. So let's just have a look and see what this has done differently. Okay, here's the issues. What it's telling us is that they're only warnings, they're not errors. Okay, that's the first thing. And what it's telling us is that create model matrix and create view matrix are defined but not used. And that's absolutely correct. That's what it should say. Why doesn't it? Is it because I've got the warnings too low on debug? Warning level 3. How many warning levels can we have? 4. Alright, let's go to warning level 4. Apply. Warning level 3, by the way, is standard for Visual Studio. It's default, because I haven't touched these. Okay. Build. Clean. You have to clean it to make it do this. Build. Will it now give us the warnings? It succeeded, which it should do. There we go. Create view matrix and create model matrix. It's now warning us that the function has been removed. Compiling source file main CPP. Function has been removed. So it's saying that it's removing it. Unreferenced local, that's better. Then it removes it, so there isn't an error. And it's crazy. So if I had left this alone, right, what I want to see now is what warnings are given once we correct the issue. Okay, so let's correct the issue. So window3d.h and window3d.cpp. Let's see, what else we got here? So those are the only two files we're messing with anyway. Build, clean project. Okay, let's build. When you're ready. I've got it in the wrong thing, haven't I? Compile output. There you go, no more warnings. So Qt is now not saying there's anything wrong with our program. Interesting how header files can cause problems. We'll leave this up a second. Build. Clean. And build. Remember, we're working on the same in both editors at the same time, which is something I do on a regular basis, and it's still complaining here. Okay, so we've increased the warnings, but now Qt Creator is happy that it can compile it properly. But because we've increased the warnings here on the Microsoft side, it's still complaining. And what's it complaining about now? So it's still got two warnings left. Conditional expression is constant. I know it is. And it gives us this as some kind of thing. What it's telling us is that that is a constant expression. And I've just put hash define because I'm being lazy. I'm not using constant expressions because I don't need to. Okay, so that's what that, oh God. And now I've done something stupid. 93 warnings. It's gone mental. There you go. That's Microsoft for you. Okay, build. Rebuild model converter. Can you just give us the original ones, please? I just want the original errors. I don't want everything that the world has ever done as errors. Right, I want to have a look at the errors in here first. I don't want to go to that errors list. Alright, Qt core, Q vector, append quantity and with t equals float, compiling source file main cp. Yeah. So all I'm doing is I'm using hash define. I think I'm just, how can you put it, making a bump in the system. I'm making the compiler work a bit harder by using a hash define instead of a constant expression. I wouldn't mind trying to fix that. Will it fix it for me? Yeah, apply. Okay, that's what it should be. Constant expression, auto. Well, it's a Q string, but auto will do. I don't really care. Alright, so that's what it's complaining about. Let's rebuild. Or should be. Now if we rebuild it, have we got rid of all of our warnings? My mouth is not working today. My lips are jabbering about. Blah, 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 blah. There you go. Yep. Oh dear. Now we're getting errors. (2,792 errors, which is why I made it a hash define. And this is why I didn't want to do it. And why can't I do that? What is wrong with body being a Q string? Expression must have a constant value. That's a constant value. Const? Is that what you're talking about? No. So, yeah, constant expression. Oh, const. Yeah, I can see what. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it's complaining about here. I don't use constant expressions usually. I'm trying to think of where I have used constant expressions. Don't think I've used them in here. No, you see, I just use hash defines. I never usually bother. C++ const expression. Since Microsoft Docs. Literal type identifier equals. Got you. Literal type identifier. Alright. Equals. Constant expression. params. That's the way I would have done it. Constant expression, blah de blah equal. Okay. So I should be able to do that. Except I've just gone somewhere where I didn't want to go. Right, okay. So constant expression. Q string. And that is correct. Do we need a semicolon at the end? Probably. No, it is that. That is correct. What's wrong with that? Every time we use Model 3D to load, we get body. Equals error constant. No idea why. So, yeah, that's why I don't use them. Because it's not very helpful in how they're supposed to work. Get rid of these semicolon, hash define. So, yeah, I use hash defines instead of constant expressions. Why? Because they don't seem to work. Yeah. Well, yeah, you can have constant expression functions. Yeah, I know you can. Well, those examples didn't work, so I'm having a hash define. I'm sorry for purists. I'll have my hash define. But that's as far as I'm going to go, and because of that, I will have our level as 3, which is the general level for Microsoft. There's no errors now. But there is, that is an error, and I know it is. I know it's supposed to be a constant expression, I'm not that stupid, but that's only from C++ 14 and onwards. C++ 11, it's still a hash define. Constant expressions are pretty recent, and hash define will work in any C++. Not dated. It just moans more as the years goes on. It's still correct. All it does is make the compiler do 3 things instead of 1. A constant expression just makes the compiler do 1 thing. A hash define makes the compiler do 3 things. I don't care. Compiler, do it for me. That's what you're for. Don't complain about it. That is not an error or a warning in my book. It's a personal preference on how you want to program. To be quite honest with you, I was looking at some other stuff. Alright. Qt Creator. Finished with. Nobody's come up with anything, so it looks as though we're going to be continuing with Visual Studio. Which is, to me, a problem. No, well, I'm going to keep using both then. Yeah, we'll keep using both. I can't. That's going to make it harder to get into... No, it's not. I can write a profile with my eyes closed. What I'm thinking is you don't get a dot profile automatically. I've been keeping this one up to date because, well, let's just say Visual Studio really hasn't bothered. Make sure it is up to date. 3D set, yeah, that's right, it's got those three. And those three. There's something missing there. Switch views, no. Missing. Oh no, there's two headers. No, there's three. Where's our header gone for model 3D underscore save? It's lost it. Model 3D underscore save doesn't even come up in here. Wow, that is fantastic. Well done, Microsoft. And they're in here. Hey you, get into the source files. Twerp. Get out the generated files. So, yeah, that's better. I've got main model win. I'm not happy about all this resource stuff here. I'll leave it. They're not needed, these. These are from a different project. Where I was messing about, seeing whether I could store things separately. Same kind of project, but I was looking to see if I could store things separately. Source files. Yeah, it puts these three in here. Interesting. Okay. Final commit for version 0.1 model converter. Because that's what it is. It's your basic model converter. Save everything. Sync. Sync. Done. So I've talked to you about warnings. I've talked to you about debugging. How to use debugging. You use these little red blobs in the margins, and by clicking on the green arrow it will go to that red blob and stop until you use this step over, step into, or whatever you can have up on the menus here. Oh wait a minute, there's a build solution, build model. There's no rebuild up here, is there? Never mind. So yeah, that's it. That's all I can think of doing with that. Where are we going to do our loader? we can work straight inside Amber3D underscore SL, or no, we can't, because we won't have a main. Okay. We do have a dev for this, don't we? We have an RPG dev. Set to startup project. Add reference to Amber3D SL. Okay. That won't work. Come on. God, this thing's slow. It won't work because you are stupid on your linker. We're not using the build directory, we're using the debug directory. Okay. By that, general, output directory, intermediate directory, target name, yeah. Configuration type, Windows SDK, yeah. Yeah. Look under C++ then. Where's the working directory? Level 3, yeah. We've got all the output directories, great. Where's the working directory? Looking for options. Working. No. Don't think it's in here. Advanced. Debugging. Working directory equals project directory. Is that a project? Yeah, that's okay then. It might work. It might. Well, it's doing everything it should do so far. Ooh. Oh, I remember this. Yeah, we couldn't... Oh, the exit worked. Okay. Things seem to be working all right. Oh. But it hasn't stopped the program. What has it done? Oh. It seems to minimize the program. There's a pointer here. No, that's the wrong pointer. Right, okay. F2. Look at how far out it is. 1. F3, there it is. That's working. So the exit button is somewhere down here. Okay. Right, so there are problems with this and it is working. That's fine. It's got header files, it's got source files, and I don't know which directories anything's in. Yay! Form files, yeah, okay. Distribution files are correct. Go to the other view, show all files, resource, that's what I want to see. There we go, GLSL textures. Add. Alright, so model converter, you have to do the same. But what I want to do is take that, copy, paste. Right, we've got our .a and b's. What can we do with them? Well, we could try and read them for starters. That might help. Don't need you anymore. For a minute or two anyway. So I've linked in Amber 3D SL. We've corrected the mistake it made with where to find it. It's looking good. Right. Where do we start programming? We start by sorting out the bloody window. Here. Or is it in main? I better put it in main. Main's all the way down here. Okay. Let's start with main. w.show. Why is it doing full screen? Doing 800 by 600. Alright, let's have a look at our test window. Nothing in there that says source common. Nope, we haven't set the size of our screen there. We haven't set the size of the screen in here by accident, have we? Nope. Width and height. Width and height. Why is that bugging me? It's not in here. UI, set up this. It's in the UI. There you go. Found it. Found the error. It's not in the code. The code is fully functional. The UI isn't. So the problem with this code on this system is that the UI is wrong. Can we modify it from here? You want to check out the file before opening it? Yeah. Of course I damn well do. This is where the problem is. And the problem is on test window, Q main window. And if you have a look at here, geometry. That's where the problem is. Geometry is wrong. Could be 800 by 600. This is supposed to be a resizable window. We don't have the batch renderer. Okay, so what I want to do is a simple test of loading, don't I? Loading our .ambs. There we go. So geometry, width, 800, height, 600. And it doesn't let them. Alrighty, so minimum size. Can I alter these? 800 by 600. Yes, I can. 800 by 600. We're getting somewhere. 800 by 600. Done. Alrighty. Oh, it fits on the screen now. That's good. It's got stupid colours. I remember this now, yes. I don't think the colours work. That's what it should look like. Save. Exit. Run. Oh, it did work. There we go. That's 800 across. I don't think so. That looks like half the screen, doesn't it? A quarter of the screen. Text color is black, so I can't see anything. Exit works now. I love Windows. It just acts like stupidity. Let's see if we can do an individual item like, say this. Palette. Let's do it in orange, for instance. That might work. Palette. Let's do this one in red. No, we'll have purple. Purple. Sorry, I am messing around. Didn't seem to change. Because the base and the text don't change. Now I don't seem to be able to use the pull down menu. Ah, who cares? Alright. The hell with it, it's a usable window. Right, what's happening with this minimum size thingy? Go back up to you. Nope, up at the top. Can I go to... Oh, wait a minute, no, there's something else that's messing this up somewhere. Nope. Page, please. Where is it? Stacked widget, there it is. Where's the default page setting? Expanding, that's correct. Font cursor, track. Front page, number page. Oh, I see. It's doing that one first, yeah. Yeah, we'll keep that one then. Save. Alright, I've had enough of messing about with this. Fantastic. Oh, I can see this now. 91 FPS. Microsoft, what have you done to my rate? Oh, you haven't got a graphics card, have you? Whoops. I'm getting 96 FPS out of that. What do I get out of this? 91. That's static. That's very static. Oh, I had to move my mouse. Alright. It's getting in the 90s for that. Why is the screen offset? Does anybody know? Why are we offset on the screen? Where did I place the item? Where did I place the item? It's in core teeth 3. There's the item. As you can see, it's the same loader that we used for our converter. I think that should be a 0. I think we've got something going wrong here with our model. We'll put those to a 0s. We'll 0 that out. Camera's okay. What did we do for a colour entity? We didn't. Probably. Alright. Okay. Rotation. So we're only using the text and yeah, textured one. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's what we'll do first. Well, no, we won't. We'll do colour first. Just to be awkward, so we have to change. Well, that's an interesting place to put it. It's putting it in the centre of the window, but it's putting it in the centre of window that's that big. Well, it's not even doing that. Our window isn't rendering to the correct size. That's what's going on. I've got a scaling issue. Oh my god. Windows, you people. It'll only work if I put this to full screen, won't it? Yep. I've got scaling issues. Damn it. I hate doing this. Everything goes to there except for maximum. Maximum has to change. No, it doesn't. Maximum's correct. Alright. So what can we do with it? We can say dot show full screen. Let's see. Let's see what you do, Windows. You work properly. Problem is, I can't debug in full screen mode. Great. Fantastic. And it's not displaying it properly when not in full screen. For some reason. 1024 by 700. Let's go. Yeah, that's okay now. Save. Build. What are we on? RPG. Rebuild. Hopefully this should get away from the misalignments, but I doubt it. Because Windows has a scaling mode. Windows 10 scales badly. The worst thing it's done. Ever. Yeah, it's not going to do it right. It won't even show this in the correct size. It's showing this as if it's on a 4K screen. The 125% increase has screwed it up. I can't do anything about that, as we need to be able to see this. Oh, great. So it works perfectly well in full screen, but won't work at all in Windows. Okay. So function key 3, what are we going to do next? What we're going to look to do is, instead of using this data here and whatever texture we've cooked up here, where are the textures coming from? That texture's awful. Okay. U3. Copy. Paste. We get rid of thing. We'll use terrain.png. Let's try loading up terrain. See if it will. These are all available to you, so they're all on GitHub. That worked. Can't use that either. It nearly worked, but it's been stretched a little bit dodgy around the sides. This is what you couldn't see on the last one. So we now know that our textures aren't working perfectly. There's a texture coordinate wrong. That's what that means. Fantastic. It's fantastic. We have a texture coordinate wrong. Oh. 1.1. I think that should be 1.0. I think that could be the reason. Let's check. Let's get the texture right first, shall we? Yeah, the texture's right now. That's fine. I wonder how I'm going to get rid of that scaling issue. I'll play with that offline. I'll get me. It's my screen. It should work perfectly on yours. Ha ha ha. If Windows isn't screwing it up for you as well. This is on NVIDIA as well. Oh, we've got a pling. What does a pling mean? Oh, something's happening. What have I done? Well, it's a debug. This is all about debugging, so yeah, let's see if we can fix the screen. This is not about programming today. This is all about debugging your environment, what you see on screen, what you expect to see versus what you should see. What I expected to see and what we are seeing are two different things. I find it interesting, really, to see how many times Windows can cock it up for me. Maybe that's the experiment today. See how many times Windows can cock it up for me. Can I go back to... Can I not just go back to a proper operating system that doesn't do all of this rubbish? And it's not the program that's wrong. 99% of the time the program is fine, and it's usually the last place I look. Okay, we're updating the experience. So we know our resources are working. We know our program's working. We're just not seeing what we expect. I now have to make sure that I haven't accidentally put an offset into the renderer. But the renderer is fine on full screen, but not on the windowed mode. That usually means that my graphics card isn't... Oh. Release highlights. Squashed bugs. Alright. Games you play appear here. Okay, what about drivers? The first thing you should do when you've got graphics errors is update your drivers. This is part of the debugging process, unfortunately. It is on Windows. And this is a problem. You can write a program on one machine and you can transfer it to another. When you then compile and run it on another machine, it will do unexpected things. Because no two machines are the same. I find it impressive. Every single Windows machine that I've run a program on will treat the program completely differently. God help you if you are programming games on Windows. I really do. How can you put it? Pity. Pity your existence. And then if you write your game on Linux and then port it to Windows, wow, what problems you are going to face. So you really do have to know quite a bit about Windows to do any kind of games programming at all. And you have to know that there are offset errors and there is scaling issues on the Windows screen itself. It's trying to give you the highest pixel quality that it can at any time. I wouldn't mind, but this GeForce card that I have in this machine is that old, it doesn't have a fan. It's about 10 centimeters square, the graphics card. It's got a chip in the middle of it with a metal heat sink just spiking out. It looks as though it's for a... It is one that I would use in a server if I wanted a server to have a screen, but I never want my servers to have screens, so I don't care. I always operate servers remotely. Never use a screen on the server. That's a stupid idea. And again, that's a Microsoft idea. If you use Windows Server, you get a desktop. Servers have no graphics cards. They don't need graphics cards. Why have a desktop, you stupid people? Game ready drive coming in. Do you know how old my... Can I get it up? Maybe. Computer, monitors, networking. No. There we go. It's a GeForce GT 630. GeForce GT 630. That's correct, isn't it? Yeah. That's... Oh my god, it's got a blower on it. That's been modified. Yeah. Mine doesn't even have that on it. Oh, there goes my screen. Have my screen back. No, it says no. These all have fans on. There's no fan on a GT 630. There never was initially. 2 gigabytes. Really? Not 2 gigabytes at all. No, that doesn't exist. It's just a little square thingy. DirectX 11, CUDA, yeah, memory. 1 or 2 gigabytes. Oh, wow. This is huge. This is... You should see the size of it. It's just that little diddy PCB, about 10 centimeters square. Sorry, length and height. 5.7 inches. 10 centimeters? Possibly. Yeah, roughly. 10 yeah. Wait, yeah. 50 watt? My backside. Mine's about 10. Yeah, it's rubbish. Worst graphics card I've got. Okay, that's all done. So we've done our updates. Rebuild. This is game ready now. This is game ready. I'm gonna have a look at that a bit further, shall I? Don't think it shows the memory. It goes to EF. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 2 megs. Interesting. Never mind. Have you finished? Yeah, you've finished. Oh, we've got errors all over the place now. Yeah, fantastic. We've now got errors everywhere. Oh, it's still doing things, is it? What are you doing? Oh, code analysis. Whoa, Microsoft. You and your code analysis. You wouldn't. Thank you. F5. Yay, it's working again. Screen still offset. Fantastic. So have I done something bad? Has Blades buggered it up? Could have done. Could have done. Clear colour won't alter anything. Renderer. Can we have some colours? Thank you. Renderer. Texture. Model. Create model matrix. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I've got it in the right place this time. Create model matrix. Same as before, and it worked perfectly well. We've just used this in the create and in the converter, so we know it works perfectly well. No, I don't want that. Alright, just give it a couple of minutes to load things up because it's on a slow hard drive. There it is. We will configure it to run on Linux. It should be fine. Just try building it. This one I have been through and debugged, so it should be absolutely fine, as far as I know. but it's not. There's something disastrously wrong with this UI. All right. Window. It's not showing the right width and height. Alright, I'm just going to try it from there. Save all. We'll try it from here. I'm not debugging. Shader program is not linked. Okay. So we've got a problem with the shader program. Source, data, base data. What? All right. What's this? Load data, yeah. Oh, that's the QTable stuff, yeah, alright. That's fine. Nothing to do with it. Forms, yeah, test, the core. Where are our shaders? Tra-la-la. Camera, entity, textured model, M texture 1, terrain, yeah. Load, M loader, set shader, yeah. Why did I load the shaders? I didn't. Okay. I load them in texture shader and curler shader. This is texture shader that's not working properly. And there's no resources. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Projects. File system. There we go. Uniform mat U MVP. That's what it's complaining about. Shader program is not linked. If it's not linked, it should have given us an error. Have we tried to do something stupid here? And do it before it links? We could have done. Hmm. Let's have a look at shaders. Right, we load it. Blah de blah de blah. Get program ID, set uniform value for MVP. Where are we finding that? There. It should happen there. Get all uniform locations. It should be blank in here. It's an override, isn't it? So where's the actual loader? Load shaders, okay. So it has to call it in here. Get all uniform locations, and it's after the link. No, I don't want to change this. Resource GLSL. That is correct. I haven't spelt anything wrong. Textures were coming through before, fine. I haven't spelt anything wrong. Right, so the other option is that it's not part of the program. Right, okay. That's fine. Don't care. Next. Yeah, I haven't altered anything, so save all that. Don't care. Right. 43 changes just happened for no reason whatsoever. What were the 43 changes, please? Mocks from Debug. I want to keep those. I want to keep those. I want to keep that. I don't want anything in x64. We're down to 12. Git ignore, yeah. Right, okay. Start for something. RPG dev. RPG dev to test converted 3D model. .3D models, plural. Commit. Sync. Sync. We'll just have to go with a crappy screen, I suppose, for now. I cannot see. Well, it's not quite true. I do know why it's happening, but is it all done? Yeah, you've got the code now. Alrighty. So now where we are, let's have a look where we are. Does it? Oh, forgot to check whether it runs. Dar. Make sure it runs. It rebuilt that shader program, okay, that's fine. So yeah, I haven't bothered to change that. I could, I suppose. That's still working, it's still reading in the data. Those buttons, I haven't even bothered to try and get working because we know how to do that. Texture's working, and if we move there, it goes blue in the background. And it works. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Hold on a minute. There's a code for those. There is a code. Alright, you can go back. There is a code. Now have a look at this or not. Yeah, that's okay. Get rid of these. These. Keep you open. Where's the .ui? Alright, where's the .ui gone? There it is. Yeah, okay. Yeah, check it out. Thank you. There is something in here. Fixed. Referred. Referred. What does that say? Don't know. We don't know. Stretch. We don't want any stretching. That's what I'm trying to avoid. That's what is happening. Save. I'll rebuild that. No difference made. You see, I don't know what size that is. Hold on a minute, hold on a minute. There is a place where it does matter. And we haven't put it in here, so we have put it in... We go back into the other mode, please, because I can't stand that mode. We have put it in the source. We have put it in... Test. Maybe not. Maybe. Platform. Probably in here. Paint gel resize, here we go. Width, height. But with under, yeah. Set to identity, blah, blah, blah. That's okay. And projection is okay. How is he getting the wrong width and height then? They're not mentioned. Width and height are given to us. Ah. Can't do that. Test window, so it's this. Set width. Set fixed, set maximum. Can't do the normal width. Okay. Fair enough. Let's try UI. What was it called? Central? No. No, it's disappeared on me again. Alright. It's called Test Window 3D. Test. Not there. And it's a Q main window. Alright. I don't know how to debug that. It's not going to let me mess with the width and the height. I don't think. I could specify it in the initialization of OpenGL in here. So the last thing that we do is F3 initialize. So we could specify it in here. It's actually going to that initialize before we've run the width, the resize. The first thing that gets run is this, and we put this in here. Yeah, so we could really do with running the resize GL at this point. Test window 3D entry point. Where's our viewport? Page 3. So we might have actually got a bug. OpenGL viewport goes to OpenGL. Class OpenGL. Class OpenGL. I'm in the right place. Good. I think I've just found a bug here. We haven't done resized GL. At this point. So this width, comma, this H E I G H T. We haven't actually got a call to resize GL when we initialize function key 3. We do after it's automatic here. That bracket calls resize GL. That does give an int, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. That's good. Let's try that. We might have just caught a bug. Nope. Do a rebuild, just in case it's hidden in a mock file. This should be an object. Let me just check that I've got a Q object in here as well, in the header file. Looking at OpenGL CPP. Yes, we have. So it is an object, so it does know about parents and stuff. And it should get its stats and stuff from the parent. And it's not doing. Or if it is, it's being tampered with. I find that interesting, but hey ho. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. Right, so I've made an alteration which I think was a bug. It will work one day once I force it to work. But at the moment I don't exactly know. I mean, what I can do is take the model and hack, which would be on the X we would have minus 0.5. This looks familiar. And on the Y we would have to go up 0.5. Close. So X was more, Y was less. I don't know where the center of this object is, but I think it's at the center there. X was more. This is how you cheat when things don't work as expected. That's the error that we're getting. For practically no reason whatsoever. And that is very suspicious. Very suspicious. See, it's not recentering. Ooh. To the center of the screen. That's a final placement in a world. That means our camera's in the wrong place, not our entity. Our camera needs to go plus 75 and down 25 to work. But that's not the error. It's not the placement that's the error. The error is somewhere in the camera. That was a minus, so this is a plus. And that's the minus. We've got an offset on the camera. Yeah, we have. The object's in the right place. I've got a 0.2 here for the textured entity. Why? Any other person. So if that was a 0.2, let's... Yeah, that should now be dead center. Ish. That looks dead center. Ish. Just a little bit high. I'm gonna have a quick look at the camera. Does our camera move, by the way? I don't know. Oh, looks like it does. Just takes in a straight position. It's not really bothered about whether it's right or wrong, is it? So it has to take in a position. Yeah. That's explicit. Oh, it should be anyway. Oh dear. That should be explicit. But that doesn't really matter at this point. We do have movement. Okay, that's it. Did we add the movement in? Go. Move camera 0.03 F. Really? Not sure why we're doing that. Let's find out. Are we just setting the speed of the camera? Probably. What keyboard commands have we got? WASD, right, okay. Well, at least I got something I can work with now anyway, so I'm not really that bothered. Whoa, back. Yeah. Okay. That works. Is that staying on the same plane? It is. That's really good. That's working beautifully. Yeah, that's the speed of movement. The camera. Excellent. Right. I'll just note that because I didn't know what it did. That's how I work. That's just a rotation. So yeah, the camera's working. We've got it in the center of the screen by hacking that. Everything else looks good. All we need to do now is replace this with something like load load 3D model. Which will give us back this information. But the load 3D model, wouldn't it be better to take this information from here and just put load to VAO and the name of the model? Needs to be separate. Okay. And we have to read all of this stuff here. Alright, what have we got above here? Ah, nothing. We're just messing about, aren't we? This is the initialize. Okay. So we're going to start here. Load a converted model, 3D model from, I'll say HD, hard drive. So that's where we're going to start. 1, 2, there we go. Shaders and everything seem okay. We're going to start with a textured. E.g., no, 1, yeah, equals textured model. We are required, so our requirements will be to place data into arrays. I'm going to show you how to do that. There are cheats for this. So instead of having this information up here, we're going to have to make these arrays. And read them from disk. Alright. So the data, the arrays that we're going to need is indices. Yeah, no, it's nothing. Divided by the size of a float. Well, we won't need that, will we? Nothing. Nothing. Are these vectors? Oh no. Indices. Let's say 0 dot nothing. We've got no size. Are we using Qt here? Can somebody confirm that I am actually using Qt in this? I think I am. Yes, we started this all under Qt, didn't we? Don't want to alter any of that. This is function key 4 key H. Yeah, we are. Okay. I'm using a lot of Amber 3D in here. Alright. Fine. So we are going to need to do it in a way where we can get size. Size of indices is the total size given in bytes or whatever. Yeah. And then the size of that is in bytes. The float is 2 bytes. No, 4 bytes. Okay. It's a total bytes divided by the size of in bytes equals the actual number of indices. But we'll have that information. Oh God. Yeah. All right. I'm not putting a hash define in this one. This is just test running, whereas the other one is useful. It's a tool rather than something I'm making up. We are going to need indices, vertices, or positions, I suppose. I don't know. Vertices, we're calling them here. Colors. And texture chords. Oh, it's texture. Alright, those are the 4 things we're going to need. I'm just going to call them arrays in English first. So I'm doing everything in English. It's how I program. I don't program in C++, I just program in English. Hello, Muppet. How are you doing? Daddy drank some black burpy bubbly liquid and it went down the wrong way, so Daddy's voice is a bit funny. And probably Daddy needs a break. I've been live for 2 hours, wow. I mean, we could stop here and pick this up on Tuesday. Yeah? Just do a short stream today because it was all about debugging, and I think we're at a point where we can start on Tuesday. Because I need to look up how to do this cheat. Not really. I know how to do the cheats, it's just... yeah. Oh, we got everything now. So... yeah, this is going to be the start code. For Dev 14. What happened to Dev 13, you might ask? Think about it. Start code 4. It was debugging today. Start code 4. Dev 14. Video. There we go. So you're all ahead now. You're ahead of me. You've got the start code. You know what I'm doing next. Go ahead and play. See if you can come up with the code before I do. That's all part of this, and see if you can do things differently. Why don't you try teaching me? I'm not here just to teach, you know, I'm here to learn. So yeah. There's your code though. You've got it. Make sure you have got it. Hop over to GitHub. Because we're now transferring over to RPG Dev. And there we go, start code for video 14 is in. Source, we're going to be dealing with source core. This one. This is going to be our start place. Here. So, yeah. Good luck, catch you Tuesday. I'm coding Tuesday. Yeah. Because tomorrow's Sunday, Sunday's sailing. Might be different tomorrow. Might not be naval action. I'm not sure because I'm having problems with naval action. I didn't have fun last time I played. Which usually means to step back away from something and until you can have fun with it again. Same with coding. I can have fun with coding because I know that I can fix most things. That's good. There we go. It's going to be RPG Dev. I'm actually going to enjoy this because I like doing this kind of thing. So I want a file. Save all. Thank you. Nothing came up. Good. We're on the master branch. I'm not changing from the master branch because it's all development stuff. I'm not doing that again because it just made it hard for you to get the code, the current code. So there we go. Whoops. Hello. You're purring away. If I do come back online today, it'll be on a game. But I'm just going to go and have a look at some games for tomorrow. Take care. Stay safe. I think we're still under quarantine. So good luck. Good luck out there.